I'm your host, Sean MacKenzie. Thanks for joining me once again on my channel on data analytics and data engineering. In this episode, we're going to go back to our Microsoft Access playlist and we're going to talk about functions, but not just any functions. We're going to talk about how to use functions in queries, because as we all know, it's very, very handy to be able to do something complicated in one single field of a query. And in Microsoft Access, it's actually much more convenient to do this than in many other languages. And that is one of the strengths of Microsoft Access, is that you have this capability to put not only your own functions, but all kinds of built-in functions directly into a field in your query. And so without further ado, let's get to our Microsoft Access query functions. Okay, so to get started here, what we're going to do is we're going to use this file that I've used quite a few times, and I've got a table in here that has some project data in it for suggestions and actions, just some dummy data. And as you can see, there's some null fields in there, and there's two info types. Like I said, there's suggestion and action, and that's pretty straightforward. So what we can do is we can start a new query, and we'll start in query design. You can just click close on that little pop-up that happens, and then you can drag your table onto your query, and then we can get started. So what we've got in this query, we've got our data ID, we've got our info type, and we've got our comment table. But what we're going to do in this case is we want to show where there's null entries or empty entries in a field. We want to show no comment. What we're going to do is we're going to use a built-in function. So this is a function that's available to us in Access, that's available to everybody, and we did not have to write it ourselves. And what we'll do is we'll make a new field name, and we'll call it comments, so it's different from the actual field name. And we're going to use the NZ function, or NZ, depending on where you come from. And what that does is it checks to see if there's a null value in the field, or anything that it uses. And what we do is we can specify a value that happens if there's a null value in the field. So in this case, we're saying to put the words no comment if there's no comment in the comment field. And it's very simple. From those of you coming from the SQL world, you'll recognize this as kind of like coalesce. But in Microsoft Access, we can use the NZ statement. And so now when I open my table, you can see that the fields have been filled with no comment. If I open up the table directly, you can see those are actually empty. But if I just run it in my query with the function attached to it, then you can see it puts all of the regular values in, but if it's an empty value, it puts no comment. And we'll call this our custom query, so I'll save that just before we move on to our next function. And for our next function, we'll take a look at our data, and we'll check and see we've got a numeric value here, so we could have a date or a numeric value. Say we wanted another column on the end of our query that gave the last date of all of the rows, but we wanted to show that on every row. So what we can do is we can make a field name called latest ID, and then we can use the DMax function. Again, this is an access function that's available to everybody. We didn't have to make that ourselves. And we'll put in data ID, and oh, actually I have to put that in quotes. So we'll put data ID, and then we'll put for DMax in the project data table, we'll look for the max value of data ID, and this is what it looks like. So this is just going to return the highest value in the table, and it's going to put it on every row because, as you can see, this is a field in our query here. So from there we can go ahead and we can close that up, and then we'll test it, and we can see what we get from there. So now you can see when I open our custom query and when I run it, you can see the last value or highest value is on every row, and that's very handy for things like last order date or you know, current status or whatever, if you wanted to do that. So those two functions, DMax and NZ, those are both built-in functions. But what if we wanted to make our own function and plug it into our query? Well, we can do that too by saying create and then module on our ribbon up above, and that'll give us a new module in our project. And in the simplest case, our function will just return a value, so we'll return the word hello, and you can see you can type in your function, you say function and then your function name followed by brackets, and it'll automatically put the end function on there. And then in Access VBA functions, you can just say, you know, my function name is equal to, and then whatever you want, and that'll be the return value. And that's going to give us a nice function we can use to plug into our query. And so we'll make a new query field name called hello with the colon, and then we'll say my hello is the value of it, which is our function that we just created, and then we can go to view, and as you can see, now we have a query with 3 functions in each field, or in 3 fields, and each of those functions is returning something different. And so you can see that hello was returned as it was specified in our VBA function. So what if we wanted to make something a little more complicated? Maybe it returns a different value based on some values on each row of our query. Well, we can do that by creating a function that has some arguments. So arguments are they're like something that you pass into your function in order for the function to return a value depending on whatever you passed into it. And so we can do that with our query, and we can add a function called isOddEven to tell us if the row is odd or even depending on the ID of the row. Then we could do something like this. And so what I'll do is I'll say on the first row, if the ID is null, it doesn't have a number in it or something, then we'll just exit our function, and in that case the function will return null. And then we can say if I convert this ID, which is currently a variant, if I convert it to a long, which is an integer, and if I say if it's a multiple of 2, then we'll say isOddEven is equal to even, and we'll say if the otherwise, you know, isOddEven is equal to odd, and that'll return 2 different values depending on what we pass into our function. And we can go ahead and we can plug that function into our query. We'll save everything here first, and then we'll go over and take a look. First, I'd like to test it though. What I'll do is we'll do it in the immediate window. We'll say isOddEven with question mark, and we'll pass in some values here just to check that it returns what we want. And we can see that it seems to be working just fine. And so we can take that over, we'll grab that function name, and we'll go take a look over here. When I go back to my query, I can start a new field, and I'll just call it oddEven with the colon, and then I'll put isOddEven, and then we'll use the square brackets to pass in the data ID value for that one row, and then we've got our function in our Microsoft Access field, so you can see it there. And what that's going to do is it's going to give us odd even on each row. So if I open the query and run it, you can see that depending on what's in the data ID field, including with some missing values and skipped numbers and things like that, you can see that it passes back the odd or even for that row. And we did that using a function, and that's how you use functions in your Microsoft Access queries. I hope you enjoyed our discussion today about putting functions into our Microsoft Access queries. If you like what you saw today, please give the video a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and click on the bell when you see the bell so that you'll be notified of any new content that I put up on the channel. If you have any questions or comments about what you saw today, please make sure to put your comments in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer any questions that you might have. Have a great day, have a safe day, and I'll catch you next time.